Say no to boring ice creams. Do you know why it becomes difficult to say decline ice cream or cupcakes even when you have become a father yourself? According to researchers, media plays a major role in influencing attitudes of kids toward different foods. What kids read about food when they were young translates to eating habits they maintain through adulthood. The high fat and sweet content make it unhealthy for those suffering from diabetes, asthma, and other lung diseases. Now, the researchers have put the blame on the media and state that they influence the eating habits of kids. Eating habits of children are based on their reading and they maintain such tastes through adulthood. Toddlers do not have independent opinions of food being desirable or not until media, television and books tell them what to like and not like. When nutrient-poor foods are presented not only frequently but positively, they likely contribute to children's view of them as both normative and desirable. The study, published in the journal Appetite, examined how media influences attitudes towards different foods items in kids aged between 2 and 4. Kids will basically eat anything unless we allow them to be picky. Shortly after introducing solid foods at around 6 months, children's palates are in the exploration mode and behavior is not generally tied to their food yet. Gold from Tribeca Pediatrics in US was quoted as saying in the New York Magazine, "Since books follow television as the most popular media source for kids, the researchers surveyed 100 fiction and non-fiction children's books to see how often food was depicted. In children's books, ice cream stood out because it was often painted as offered as a treat to celebrate an occasion, making someone feel better, and or to indicate a happy ending. No other food enjoyed such a specific status with such a privileged connotation. Parents can guide kids to love vegetables by introducing books that emphasize depictions of healthy foods as well, the researchers noted. Children do not have an independent opinion on food until we teach them to be picky. For many, ice cream is the number one item they will never be able to say no to. There is no doubt that an ice cream is an excellent source of energy, though nutritional content varies among brands. It is also a dietary source of several essential minerals and vitamins. However, the high fat and sweet content make it unhealthy for those suffering from diabetes, asthma, and other lung diseases. Now, the researchers have put the blame on the media and state that they influence the eating habits of kids. Eating habits of children are based on their reading and they maintain such tastes through adulthood. According to a report in Elle, it is the media, both books and television, that tells kids what to like and dislike, for children do not have an independent opinion on food being desirable or not. Children think nutrient-poor food is desirable and normative when such foods are presented to them frequently and positively. The results were based on a study conducted among kids aged between 2 and 4 about the influence of media on the attitude of children towards different foods. Their study is published in the international research journal Appetite. Kids will eat anything unless we teach them to be picky. Children's palates will be in an exploration mode shortly after they are introduced to the world of solid food, Dr. Tricia Gold told New York Magazine. Researchers found that in the books ice cream is often depicted as something offered to celebrate an occasion, to indicate a happy feeling or to make someone feel better. Ice cream is given a privileged connotation with a particular status. The researchers say that it is for the parents to guide kids to love fruits and vegetables by introducing them to books that depict healthy foods. Ice cream, you scream, we all scream for coronary heart disease. Brian Gould, professor of agricultural economics at the University of Wisconsin, reports that the average U.S. citizen consumes over 14 pounds of ice cream in 2006. It's clear that most people enjoy the frozen treat on a regular basis. Unfortunately, like most tasty foods, ice cream is high in some potentially harmful ingredients, particularly to the cardiovascular system. Ice cream is a dessert best consumed in moderation. If you want to avoid screaming for an angioplasty. Fat. Like all dairy products, ice cream is high in fat. A half-cup serving of a leading brand of the most widely consumed flavor of ice cream, vanilla, contains 9 grams of fat. While fat is a nutrient and the body needs a certain amount to produce hormones, provide energy and protect organs, too much can result in cardiovascular disease. Fat should account for about 20 to 35% of your total calories. If you consume a typical 2,000 calorie diet, you'll want to avoid consuming more than 78 g of fat each day. One serving of vanilla ice cream contains more than 10% this amount. Also consider that a half-cup serving is quite small. Saturated fat. Saturated fatty acids are commonly found in animal products such as meat, milk, eggs and butter. Excess consumption of saturated fat can increase your blood cholesterol levels, causing arterial blockage and ultimately resulting in heart attacks and strokes. The U.S. Department of Agriculture advises limiting saturated fat intake to less than 10% of your total calories. A half-cup serving of vanilla ice cream contains 6 grams, or about 28% of this amount, based on a 2,000 calorie diet. Full of cholesterol. Excess consumption of foods that are high in dietary cholesterol can increase your blood cholesterol levels and increase your risk of heart disease. A half-cup serving of vanilla ice cream contains 25 milligrams of cholesterol. The USDA recommends consuming less than 2,300 milligrams of cholesterol each day to avoid increasing your blood cholesterol levels, and less than 1,500 milligrams a day if you are over 50 or have a history of heart disease or diabetes. While a serving of vanilla ice cream does not place you in danger of reaching the USDA's recommended limit, the Institute of Medicine does not set recommended dietary allowances for this substance and advises limiting it as much as possible. Your body produces about 1,000 milligrams of cholesterol a day on its own. High in sugar. Sugar is an empty calorie. It contains caloric value, but contributes no other nutrients to the diet. You can eat all the sugar you want and reach your daily caloric requirements, but you still need to consume additional calories to meet your other nutrient needs. Therefore, sugar can significantly contribute to weight gain and, ultimately, cardiovascular disease. Sugar's immediate impact on blood glucose levels can also result in diabetes. The American Heart Association recommends men and women limit their daily sugar intake to 150 and 100 calories, respectively, to avoid these health setbacks. A serving of vanilla ice cream contains 40 calories from sugar, or about 27 to 40%, the AHA's suggested limit for men and women. Is ice cream bad for you if you eat too much of it? Every coin has two sides. You cannot ignore the negative effects of overeating ice cream. Moderation is important when eating any brand or type of ice cream. Do not take more than 2 tablespoons of ice cream a day. If you are unsure about the weighted health benefits in comparison to the health risks of any brand of ice cream, read the nutritional label on its container carefully.